Hello everyone, my name is MG Melon, and welcome to the FNAF movie analysis. Now, for starters, we should get first to the poster. No, not the poster, the sign. The sign, as you all know, is really nostalgic for some people. The sign is two combinations, if you haven't noticed. It's both the Showbiz Pizzeria sign and the Chuck E. Cheese sign, just shoved into one to look very nostalgic, and it just looks very memorable for other people who don't know anything of the series. So I think that would be really cool. And I love the neon lights that they put on there, so it looks really cool when it glows in the dark. And, on top of that, Freddy has gloves. Now, I don't know if Freddy will have gloves in the actual movie, but, well, it's only time will tell until we see the actual movie, but I don't think he will have gloves on, so don't worry about that. Another thing that people have been pointing out is, it says, Freddy Fazbear's Pizza Place. Now, Pizza Place is a word that has been used for FNAF 6, if you haven't noticed, and people have been pointing that out there. I personally think that is going to be only used for the movie and not for its own lore, because the movie won't have lore, but it won't have lore that will be directly connected to the games, obviously, since Vanessa, the security guard from Security Breach, as you know her from Freddy, You're Supposed to Be on Lockdown, she'll be, basically, be the one telling Mike what to do over his nights over there. And I personally think that she might be either a phone guy of sorts, or she is gonna be a character that we actually see, or maybe even both. Maybe she will be a phone guy and a person that we see talking about the secrets of the pizzeria and what monsters lurk in the darkness. Now, other people have been worried about is FNAF 2, or Circus Baby's Pizza World, or Fredbear's Family Diner gonna ever be shown. I think Fredbears is gonna be in the movie. I don't know for sure if FNAF 2 is going to be in there, and I don't think so, because it just doesn't make any sense. But at the same time, the ending of the movie will have to end as William Afton going into the spring lock suit and dying, as you know, as his minigame from FNAF 3. FNAF 3's minigame of how he just jumps into the suit, I personally think that will be in the movie because there is actually 5 ghost kids. And the reason why there's 5 is probably either that one of them's the puppet, like Charlie, or the other one is obviously Cassidy, which is Golden Freddy. And maybe after then they all disappear and William Afton dies. And maybe at the end of the movie, we get to see either FNAF 2 or it'll go to FNAF 3. But I don't think it will go to FNAF 3. I personally think it will be at a post-credit scene of showing FNAF 2, of saying, you made a really bad career choice. And then it would show, like, Mangle at the end of the movie. And I think showing Mangle would be really cool. Or one of the Wizards. Another thing that I need to point out is that there have been other castings for characters. Like I said, Vanessa is going to be in the movie. There's an unnamed villain, an unnamed kid. There's been other speculation. I'd even watched The Hottest Dog and Johnny Blox's stream that they went over about the FNAF movie, and one detail that they pointed out was Corey Kenshin left and came back and said No, I mean before he left, he said, "Once I come back, once you see me in something, it will be shocking," which most people are thinking that's a FNAF movie because he has done FNAF before, and plus it's a really cool thing that he will be in the movie, and I think he deserves that because of all the stuff he's been through. And it would just be very, very cool to see him on the big screen of him, people going, oh, "Holy crap! It's Corey Kenshin!" like that, because that would be so cool. And also, I'll put everyone that I say in the bottom the description if you want to see them, like Johnny Blocks or the Hottest Dog, or any people like that. So, another thing I need to point out. Will Freddy or any of the animatronics have fur on them? And I don't think they're gonna have really bushy fur like from like Willy's Wonderland or anything like that. I think they'll have like soft-ish fur, like carpet, like kind of like a carpet look to them. So they'll look. I personally think they're going to look the same as that, but they're going to just look a little different. Just to be stylizing them for the movie, and I feel like that would be really cool seeing Scott's dream of what the characters should have looked like back in 2014. So, and another thing that I thought of, like from today, will Foxy show up in the movie unwithered? I personally think he will, but only at the beginning of the movie, or at the beginning of like a promotional commercial that will be inside the movie, or maybe just outside of the movie in general, like to promote the movie. And if so, will Foxy have his coat from Help Wanted, his coat and his pirate hat, which I don't know if he will. I don't think he would, but I don't know. The FNAF 4 house in the woods, people have seen that on a TikTok, and it was been deleted, but someone got it back up, and thank God we got to see the video again. But the FNAF 4 house was in the woods, or the Afton household, or maybe even the Midnight Motorist minigame. And speaking of Midnight Motorist, will that ever be shown in the movie? I think so. Because that's directly after Charlie's death. And I believe that will be shown in the movie as well. Because that's such an iconic point and plot to the story to be shown that she actually dies, and maybe we get to see her possess the puppet afterwards or something like that. I don't know for sure, but I think that would be cool. And also, will Henry ever be shown in the movie? I don't think he will, at least not yet, because according to the FNAF lore, Henry or someone else gets arrested for the murders. I do think it's Henry because that's been shown in the books that he was supposed to get arrested in the books, but he never did. And before he did that, he just committed, you know what? He died from his suicide bot. Plus, that would be awesome to see the bite of 87. And it doesn't even have to be gruesome. It could just be like Fredbear takes the bite and then like it just cuts to black or something. Just to prevent people from going, no, not a kid, no. Yeah, you know, like, how people would react if all this went down, so just, I hope Scott makes this movie right, and not too gruesome or anything like that. I don't want kids dying, but maybe at the end we could see their, like, it could be like Black Phone, where the kids are like, you could see their spirits rise from the bodies and try to take William out, and he goes in the Springlock suit of Spring Bonnie and dies, of course. Will Elizabeth die from baby at one point in the movie. I don't think she's gonna die in the movie. I think if they wanted to do this, I think they should put it for either the next movie or the movie after, or something like that, to explain it a little bit better. Because if the next movie's FNAF 3, then they could show it in FNAF 3, and if the next movie is FNAF 3, and the movie after that's FNAF 3, or FNAF 6, or Sister Location, or something like that, then they should show it then, to make a better understanding of how the movie should be. So, will Afton have his purple car? And I think he will have his purple car in the movie, and because that's just a classic thing to do. Or it could just be like a blue car, and then like his lights are purple to resemble him as the purple guy, or something similar to that, because that would just be really, really neat to have that in the movie. And plus him speeding around because he committed a crime, and maybe him crying and going back home and trying to think nothing happened. AKA him trying to leave and going to his house. Midnight Motorist, basically. That ending where you go to see Juniors and all that stuff, so... I don't know if Juniors is FNAF 2. No one actually knows, so I think that he should explain what Midnight Motorist is a little bit better, instead of saying, hey, this place is Juniors, don't go back to your home. There's a digged up area or garbage or something in this weird area. Footprints in the back of the yard. It just doesn't make any sense. It's just too vague to just leave in like FNAF 6, and it was just too confusing. So I hope Scott realizes that was a mistake on his part, and he should explain it in the movie, because I think that would be really, really, really cool to know about. Or it could just be explained in the second movie, because she also gets killed in the second game. So if they were to do FNAF 2 in the second game, I think that's what they should explain in that game. So, also, will Bonnie have his classic guitar? Would he have the Help Wanted guitar in the movie? And I think he will have his Help Wanted guitar, because it just fits a little bit better. And maybe like FNAF 2, they could show like Toy Bonnie having the retro guitar, because that's just a classic guitar that they don't need to like completely take out from the movies. So, it would just be really cool and memorable to just see that actually happen. Have that changed. And another thing to point on is, we will probably see the kitchen in the movie if that does happen, and if that does happen, I want to see what the kitchen would have looked like, just to point that out there. Or maybe just like a quick little glimpse, like they just look into the kitchen for a second, someone walks out immediately. It could just be like that, and we could see like the inside, and they don't have to worry about it ever again. Like, it'd just be like a split second. It would just be cool just to see the kitchen at least. But other than that, I think this is a really good point for me to stop anyways, because, well, actually there's one more thing I want to talk about, and that is the Ruin DLC for FNAF Security Breach. And apparently they updated the version of Xbox to test something for a DLC. If the name is still Ruin at this point, I have no idea. So that's a good thing to point out. Anyways, that was just something I wanted to just point in there, so, I just might as well say goodbye, and I'll see you guys tomorrow, or whenever I make another video. And, yeah, that's pretty much it, and I'll see you guys later, and goodbye.